How's it going, guys? We're here for a Q&A. Not sure which number this is. I'm sorry. I say that every time. And I really should check. It's not that hard, but I didn't. But yeah, we got back into the zone of it's been a couple weeks, but hey, nonetheless, here we are. We'll kick it off with the Legend X 1984. Do you think that it's possible that one day we'll see a feud between Seth Rollins and CM Punk? I hope so. I love CM Punk, obviously. From what I've seen of Seth Rollins, I like the guy. I saw him at a WrestleMania Access. Was actually the first time I've ever seen him like wrestle live or even on TV. Because I know I don't try to lie. I don't watch ROH or anything like that or FCW that much. I probably should or whatever, but I just don't. But so seeing him live was awesome. I actually got a really cool picture of him when we were there. I got to talk to him for a sec. Posted on Twitter, and it was his like Twitter picture for a while, so that was pretty cool. But that was pretty cool. And he goes on to say the feud could be Punk basically calling Rollins a poor man's version of himself, and yada yada yada. Definitely, that there's gonna whether it's true or not, there's always gonna be comparisons between those two because of the way they look and their pasts and all that kind of stuff. So it's a good idea. I'd like to see it. Be a really good wrestling feud as well. From what I've heard, Rollins isn't super on the mic, but that's just what I've heard. So it'd be pretty cool. Who would win a match between the phenomenal AJ Styles versus dashing Cody Rhodes? Well, I don't watch TNA very much, and when I do, it's for Austin Aries or Robert Roode. So AJ Styles doesn't do much for me. Cody Rhodes definitely in my Fave 5 wrestlers, so I would have to go with dashing Cody Rhodes. And then who would win in a submission match between Daniel Bryan and Dean Malenko? Not really my style of wrestling, but I know that people. I mean, I would watch that and think it was a good time. But there would be some people that would flip out if that match ever happened. But shoot, let's just go with Daniel Bryan for the sake of knowledge. I don't know. But good questions. Those are good match. I'd love to see both those matches: AJ Styles versus Cody Rhodes and your boy D. Bry versus D. Malenko. And then we got CJM Hockey 19. Do you think the T-Wolves will make the playoffs next year? I know Chase Oliver is interested in this. I think the Heat will make the playoffs, and I think the Heat will do fine. But let's jump into the T-Wolves. You got Ricky Rubio. I'm hearing, is on pace. He's progressing well from his injury, so that's definitely good for the Timberwolves. They picked up Brandon Roy this offseason. They picked up Kirilenko. They got Alexei Shavid come in. If you guys watch Russia play, you know what I'm talking about. And then they still got your boy Kevin Love. He's still a man. He does his thing. They're definitely improved. And before Rubio got hurt, they were looking like they were going to make the playoffs this year. So, add Brandon Roy, add Andre Kirilenko. Hopefully for the Timberwolves, returning healthy Ricky Rubio, with Kevin Love and all the Darko. Why not Darko's, whatever. I'm not 100% sure if Darko. He might have been a free agent, but I think he's coming back, but I'm not 100% sure. But I see no reason why the T-Wolves shouldn't make the playoffs, and I think they will. Maybe at anywhere from 7 to 6, maybe 5. I don't know. Probably not, but I see them in the playoffs for sure. Will Ferrell, number 1. Do you think Vince and Shane and Stephanie McMahon, Levesque will ever be in the Hall of Fame? That's actually, that seems like an obvious question, but at the same time, Vince pretty much he created the Hall of Fame, but will he ever be in there? That's a good question. I think he obviously should be. And same with Shane, and same with Steph. Obviously, they built the WWE, and they deserve the recognition. That's actually an interesting question because it's it seems so obvious, but at the same time, never really. Those aren't people you ever think about. So that's a good question. But I don't even know. I'm sure they will be. We think it's not like they need it to verify their credibility to us or anything. But that's a good question. And do you like Gilbert Gottfried? He plays the voice of Iago, the parrot in Aladdin. I don't know that I like him really as an actor, by himself, but when he's doing the voice of things, because his face bothers me. But Aladdin is my business, so Of course, I love anything that has to do with Aladdin. I had a crush on Jasmine when I was little. Hashtag, past spoiler. But so yeah, I'm cool with him when he was Iago for sure, just because Aladdin was my movie. That was the business. Joshua Smith asks, if you had to create a stable for WWE, which superstars would you put in it present only? Oh, present superstars only, and what would you name it? Present superstars only stable. A lot of people, um, I would imagine would try to get a stable of like young guys, but I would just go with a badass stable. I would just say, listen, we got John Cena, we got Randy Orton, we got CM Punk, we got Sheamus, we got Dolph Ziggler, and they're just gonna run wild on everybody. So instead of the young guys forming a stable to beat up the big guy, it's the big guys forming a stable, and all the little guys have to form together and beat them. But I would just put all the big dudes in there and just roll with it. I don't, why not? I would call it the Breakfast Club. It's obviously gonna be called the Breakfast Club because they would never lose. Heel Wolverine. What do you think is the most beautiful stadium in baseball and in football? And what is your favorite WWE arena, as in how arena set looks like? I may be a little biased towards, the baseball stadium. Not that I'm sorry, I'm just stretching to the right. Not that there's anything going on back there, but I love Busch Stadium. But um, if I can't say Busch, we'll say I can't say Busch Stadium because that's cheating. And don't worry, I'm not going to say the Georgia Dome because I've been there. Trust me, I know. But if I can't, I know you live in Florida. When I was down there for WrestleMania, when I drove by the Marlins Stadium, that looked pretty sick. I didn't go to a game or anything, but seeing it on TV and just like being on the outside, that was awesome. But as far as ones I've been to, most beautiful stadium, let's see. I've been to Oakland, definitely not Oakland. I've been to Coors Field in Colorado. That one was pretty cool actually. I've been to Turner Field in Atlanta. I actually do like Turner Field. Um, I've been to Shea Stadium. Well, now it's what is it called now? Citi Field? I don't know, but I've been to the old Shea Stadium for the Mets, and I've been to old Yankee Stadium. Haven't been to new Yankee Stadium. Yankee Stadium. I'm probably gonna say old Yankee Stadium just because of all the history and stuff. It was awesome, but Turner Field too was pretty cool. And as far as football, I've only been to the Georgia Dome, and I've been to three. The only NFL arenas I've been to are well for football. I've been to Sun Life Stadium for WrestleMania, but as far as actual football games, I've only been to the Georgia Dome, Ford Field in Detroit, and University of Phoenix Stadium for the Cardinals. And let me tell you, besides the fact that it looks like a giant toaster, the Cardinal Stadium, it was WrestleMania 26. Holy cow, look at that. I've been to the stadiums of the last three WrestleManias. The only stadiums I've been to are Georgia Dome for 27, University of Phoenix Stadium for 26, and obviously I was at 28. So look at that. But so yeah, I'm gonna have to go with that. And then favorite W arenas and how the arena set looks like WrestleMania. And if you want a specific one, I really liked WrestleMania 28. Again, I'm gonna be biased because I was there, but it was also hilarious because the people. Well, it wasn't hilarious for them, and if it would have been me, would have not been hilarious. But some people couldn't see because of those big palm trees holding the setup and everything. So we had a palm trees suck chant and take down the trees chants going on. So that was entertaining, but I liked the setup of it just because I could see totally fine. I wasn't even palm trees weren't affecting me. I was straight shot. Um, Sweet Latte 18. If Rock and Austin had joined NWO, how do you think it would have went? They probably would have ran the ship for a lot longer than they did if they had Hogan, Hall, and Nash, and then Rock and Austin. Like, come on, those are the dudes right there. The only people to oppose them back then would have been like Triple H, maybe Undertaker. I mean, it'd have been like picture that 5-on-5 Survivor Series match of just Rock, Austin, Hogan, Hall, and Nash against like Taker, Triple H, Kane, Jericho, Kurt Angle, or something. That'd been a good time. So I definitely think it would have been interesting, but didn't happen. And what's the best music video you ever saw? Justin Bieber, Boyfriend. 100. No, I'm just kidding. Best music video. Uh, hmm. I really loved Eminem when I still like Eminem now. Don't get me wrong, but all his music videos I always loved. But goodness, I'm trying to think. That's a good question. Best music I've ever seen. Ooh, man. Now you're asking me silly questions that I don't really answer to. Oh, Eiffel 65, blue. Just 'cause they're in the spaceship and all those blue guys just saying, I'm blue, and all that fun. Oh my goodness, come on now. And what are your favorite music artists you like to listen to? Kanye West. I love Kanye West. I love Kim Kardashian's ass. But no, I love Kanye West. I love Tyler the Creator and Odd Future. They're just wild out, and I love those dudes. Hobson. I don't know if I don't know if a lot of you know who Hobson is. I know a couple of you do because I've friends with you on Facebook. I've seen you guys post stuff. But Hobson is my dude. That is one guy that you always hear people like, oh, I knew about that guy way before anybody else. I don't ever like to be like that, but Hobson is my dude, and he's not like big or anything quite yet still. But I'm just saying, if it ever happens, that's my guy to claim to. Um, I listen to a lot of stuff though. Like pull up my Spotify right now and just click on stuff. Yeah, Kanye West is definitely high up there. My boy 2 Chains. Oh my goodness, 2 Chains. I still listen to Eminem. Chris Brown's cool. Um, Jay Z I like when he's with Kanye West. I'm not really a fan of Jay Z by himself anymore. I like MGK a lot. He did the WrestleMania song. If you guys don't know who he is, I like MGK. I like T.I. a lot back in the day. And then Wiz is pretty cool. Wiz is hit or miss with me, but I like Wiz. And then like Young Jeezy's my dude. So there's a couple of them. It's all rap, pretty much, if you can tell. And if Rock vs. Punk was to happen, who are you cheering for? 100% cheering for The Rock. I love CM Punk. They're both on my wall over there in like sticker form, fathead form, or whatever. But The Rock was like my childhood. The Rock got me into wrestling, and the rumor of The Rock returning to WWE got me back into wrestling in 2010 or 11. Wait a minute. Oh, now I'm all confused. Oh yeah, I started watching in 2010. And he came back in 11. I got it. But yeah, so obviously he's like I said, he's what kept me interested in wrestling when I was a little kid. He was my guy, always has been, always will be. And just the rumor of him potentially coming back is what got me back into wrestling. Since you guys know it was just pretty quick. Hasn't been very long. So definitely him. Again, love CM Punk, and it's what I was saying. If you watched my like live review of WrestleMania when I got home, it's like I love CM Punk and like the guys of now, but and like Orton, I love Punk and Orton and all those guys, and I was really excited to see them at WrestleMania. But just like hearing when the Undertaker came out and when The Rock came out, it wasn't even close. Like I was going nuts. Like so, it's gonna be The Rock again. I'm not gonna not like CM Punk during that time, but definitely The Rock over CM Punk. RKO 5569 saw you on Tout. It was incredible. How did you get on Tout? Well, anybody can see me on Tout. You just go on tout.com and Trio Woe Show. But I'm assuming now. I know assuming can get you in trouble, but I'm assuming you meant to say you saw me on Raw on Tout, which would make sense. That's cool. How did I get on Tout? Just pure luck, I guess, because I just did it once they asked the question, like, "What do you think of it?" I filmed it right then. I actually did 2 of them, and I flipped them both in, and then you just wait the whole night, and then you're like, okay, there's so many people to tout. There's no way you're gonna show it, and so they picked mine, and it was awesome. And what was your reaction? Um, well, again, there was like I didn't ever think it was like a chance they'd actually show it. Because I thought, like some of you have said, like I thought they were kind of fixed. Like they didn't really show fan videos. It was just kind of like, hey, just film yourself real quick and just say this, and then they air that. So I'm like, oh, okay, it's just gonna all be like scripted stuff. But no, all of a sudden I see my face pop up, and I said, God damn it, they show me on national TV. I ain't wearing a hat. Like, you guys have watched my videos. I have wore a hat in every video of Tree Woe Show probably. And the one time I'm just screwing around watching Raw without a hat on, I'm just, Bird Del Rio, y'all don't know about me. And all of a sudden I'm like, I'm on national TV with no hat on. They don't even know. But my reaction was more just laughing hysterically. Like, of course I was excited. Like, I was like, okay, that's badass. But I was laughing so hard just because my strategy was just act like an idiot and they'll put it on TV. And I acted like an idiot and they put it on TV. And then my Twitter blew up. I mean, I thought it was cool. I mean, I thought obviously my childhood like dream came true. I was on Monday Night Raw, but like I thought it was cool. But then when I started getting all these tweets and Facebook of you guys talking about how cool you thought it was, like, I know that guy on TV. I've seen him. Da, da, da. Hearing you guys write to me about how dope it was, I'm like, oh, it was so cool. Congrats. Then it made me even more excited. I'm like, yeah, that was sick. Because it's like, if I saw someone, that makes YouTube videos, if I watch and I saw them on Raw, I'd be like, that's badass. So I was already excited. And so then when everyone starts tweeting me like, man, that was awesome, then it was like making me like, yeah, that was pretty awesome, wasn't it? That was badass. To my knowledge, I was the first guy from the YWC to get on Raw and tout. So I'm like, hey, it's a hard job, but someone's got to lead the way. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so my reaction was shock and just hilarity ensued. And Anasala, if I say that wrong, I'm sorry. Anasala or Anasalia. Do you think that CM Punk will lose his has been losing his fans, and will John Cena win the WWE Championship at SummerSlam? I definitely think CM Punk has been losing some fans, but that just comes with turning face back when he turned face and after Money in the Bank or whatever during that whole thing, because everyone supports you, and then once you get recognized, it's like, oh well, and I'll admit I was like that too. I was getting kind of sick of CM Punk. He was getting a little too PG vanilla for me. It's like, I know he's so much better than this, but he doesn't need to be, so he's not putting in the extra effort. And I understand that that's not his fault per se, because they want him to be a certain way, and obviously, he'd rather be a bad guy, but whatever. But he's probably been losing his fans. And then will John Cena win the WWE Championship? Spoiler alert for our predictions video tomorrow. I don't think so. Obviously, if you hear the reports, they're thinking that it's going to be John Cena versus Rock at Royal Rumble, meaning that Cena might win here, or Cena versus Rock 2 at WrestleMania, so he would win here and hold it or whatever. But I personally think that CM Punk will retain at SummerSlam and then lose it at Night of Champions to Cena. Obviously, that match isn't even confirmed or anything yet, but it is in Boston. That is where Cena's from. It's been a long time. That's just personally what I see. I would not be shocked if Cena walks away from SummerSlam as the champion, but I personally am predicting that it's going to not be till Night of Champions. D96MR, how would you book a Stone Cold Steve Austin CM Punk feud hanging to WrestleMania 29? I would obviously capitalize on the obvious ones that everyone talks about, the beer drinking guy versus the straight edge guy, and then the original Hellraiser, screw the system versus the newer version of standing up to the boss and all that kind of stuff. Definitely build off that and just have promo battles on promo battles, and that's how I would build up to it, because that would be great to hear those two go at it. And have you heard that Kevin Nash is accusing Benoit and Eddie for killing the wrestling business? To me, he's just trying to get attention because he hasn't been relevant since the days of NWO. That's probably it. And I think he already admitted to it that it was a work. Like, oh, I was just saying that because blah, blah, blah. But, I'm sure he thinks it. He's a big guy. He probably sees little guys like those guys. Oh, well, they're not believable and all that stuff. And to a point, it's true. Like, not his comments, but it's like I don't agree with it, but I see what he's going with. Like, I don't personally like when guys like Rey Mysterio are, world heavyweight champion, that kind of thing. But then again, I don't think it killed the wrestling business. I think he went a little too far there. But while I don't agree with it 100%, I see at least where he's coming from. So I wasn't as pissed off as everybody else. I was like, okay, I kind of see what he's saying. He just shouldn't have said it like that. But he hasn't been relevant since the NWO, and he probably is trying to get attention. Orton Straight Brother, do you think now that CM Punk is a heel, he should form another stable, and who would be in it? Is he heel? I don't know. I mean, you obviously sent this question in back right after that Raw, just a little late to the game, but I don't know that he is heel, at least not yet. But should he form another stable? I would like to see it just like the new NWO. I'm telling you, just Punk and Brock Lesnar. Punk, Lesnar, some other dudes. just go nuts on everybody. And final question, Raging Eagle 445. How did your fantasy football draft go? Well, I did one. I have with people. We did one with just my normal friends from around here. We always do, but as far as the YouTube ones, that I'm sure that's what you're talking about since I made the video. We have two Tree of Woe Show leagues, Tree of Woe Show 1 and Tree of Woe Show 2, because I'm very creative with names. And the first one is a 12-team league. We got 12 dudes in there. You know, Chase Oliver 68 is in number 2. It's an 8-team league, but the 12 one, you know, we got some people in there. I'm not as big of a fan of my team in that one as I am in Tree of Woe Show 2 league. And obviously, you know, if you have 8 teams, your team's going to be better than 12 because there's less people, so there's more players to go around. But, oh, my squad on the Tree of Woe Show 2 league, Michael Vick, just hold on real quick. I don't even care. Just let me read aloud to you. This will go fast. Sorry, I promise this won't take long. But you asked the question, so I don't care if it takes long. Cause I'll answer your damn question, sir or ma'am. But yeah. So let's just click a gander here. But yeah, it was a good time. I looked at my team at the end. I was like, I'm just gonna draft players I like, so then I'll have a good time. And it ended up that it worked great because my team ended up being sick. We got Michael Vick quarterback, Adrian Peterson, Reggie Bush, Calvin Johnson, Julio Jones, Rob Gronkowski, Antonio Gates, Jeremy Maclin, Isaac Redmond, Pierre Garcon, Anquan Bolden, David Wilson, Felix Jones, Justin Blackman, and Kendall Wright are the skill positions. That team's about to be bad. You know what I'm saying? So throughout the thing, I might do just little updates on our 2 fantasy football leagues because of, the connection it has to YouTube. There's some YouTube guys that do videos that are in the leagues, and there's some that are just, guys that watch our videos and watch other people's videos, so you might recognize the names. So we'll keep you updated on that. Thanks for the questions. Subscribe above if you haven't already. We are on the quest to 700. That sounds so crazy to say. And SummerSlam will be the 1-year anniversary of the Tree of Woe show. We have been in front of your faces for almost 1 year. Well, we have been for a year because the date already passed, but we'll get to thank yous and all that when it happens. But so SummerSlam is the 1-year thing. The date was already the 14th. We didn't really do anything because whatever. But we started the SummerSlam last year, so we'll, it's happening. So subscribe. We're trying to get there. Go ahead, like this video. Comment down below on any thoughts you have on any of the questions or my answers, and leave more questions so that we can keep these things rolling. We will see you for a SummerSlam preview, review, and Raw review. But for now, good night. Holding this bat.